Yeah, but if it's
Hey, here. They told me you guys asked them. Yes, you know, they decided to have me that one either. I don't know who It's 6 o'clock. We're going to call the November board meeting to order. All are present except Mr. Hott. So, have y'all had a chance to look at the October board meeting minutes?
Yeah, I think we need a correction. We made the last paragraph, or not next to the last paragraph, we're talking about the students going on trips. I had made a motion to make that official policy, and I don't think that's reflected in there.
It was your motion that I seconded. I think it passed 7-0. I'm not sure how we need to amend them, either this meeting or next.
I would move to amend to show that that's what I would say we would need to do.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to amend the next to last paragraph to reflect the motion made by Sean Brister, seconded by Chapin Rucker, and passed 7-0 to make it official policy to allow any students competing and finishing well enough to move on to the next competition to be able to do that. And then the financial support stay at 50% for first place, and then no financial support for positions thereafter.
Do we have any discussion on that? Or that's a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Do we have any discussion?
Let me mention, that has proven a little bit challenging to put in writing because we have so many different groups with different rules, but we are just about finished with that, and I think it'll be ready for us to get out to the staff in just the next few days.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion on that? With a right hand vote, who's all in favor? That passes unanimously. So y'all could get that to us, maybe a revised version. And public comment. We have Mr. Medeiros. Can you come up here? This is public comment, and we will allow 5 minutes. Don't state any students' names or personnel names, and it's a comment time, and so we won't have discussion at that point, but any time after that, it may give us some ideas or some things we want to go talk to administration about. So you can start now.
Well, I appreciate letting me speak. For those that know me, I'm Pat Medeiros. I've been involved in Little League sports down here for 30 years. I know it's a long time. I coach in basketball, baseball, and football. I even helped run the football league for a couple of years with Downriver. And I'm currently still helping in baseball. Comes with my concern about the direction the Little League program could end up going with this travel ball. Look, I'm not against travel ball. I coached it many years. I coached in basketball and I coached it in baseball. So I'm not against it. It's got its positive and negative. The negative is it can eventually deplete your league because you have a group of kids that are traveling. I know you guys got set up where they can do both in basketball, but what's going to happen is, and the experience I had in baseball, is they're going to stay together and they're going to start playing weekend tournaments. And then they got all this time in weekends, all this money. They're not going to play league. They're going to leave. And then you got kids that are in league that don't want to travel because of reasons or not. And then the league, all the talent leaves, all the coaches leave, and you're down to just a couple kids that are you're trying to teach them fundamentals. You don't have enough coaches, and then your league suffers. And I know you're trying to, I think it was told to me that they're tired of playing each other. When they get in the school system, they're not playing as a team. I don't believe that. I mean, it's probably happening, but we played together many years ago and won conference championship. We played against each other for many years and won state championships. We played against each other many years and we beat Greenwood. Yeah, I went there. Okay, so, I mean, there's bigger problems than that, I believe. And this is just my opinion. I know you guys are playing small towns and everything. We've been doing that in baseball for years. We played Uniontown, Ellsworth, Mountsburg, Van Buren, Church Lee, and Greenwood. But we use our league teams. We don't take a select team to do that. So, I don't know. I just want to end, think my time. I just think we need to get back to coaching basic fundamentals. We need to teach these kids basic fundamentals, and as they get older, you can adapt and teach them more as they get older. As they move up, you coach them up. It's Little League, okay? I'm sorry, it's not your farm system for your high school program. Yes, these kids are going to move up to it, and they're all going to be Airedales. I understand that. But you guys are putting too much into this, and you're going to run off kids that just want to play baseball or want to play basketball or football, okay? And I think I'll just go in with this. Many years ago, I was in a meeting. It was a board meeting for sports, and school administrator got pretty upset with me, slammed his hand on the table, raised his voice. I slammed my hand on the table and raised my voice right back at him. And at the end of the meeting, I got up and I went to the school superintendent, Mr. Dyer, and I said, Mr. Dyer, are we good? He goes, yeah, we're good. We're adults and we agree to disagree. So with that being said, I'm hoping good, that we're all adults and we agree to disagree. Another thing he told me that stuck to me all these years, and the reason why, probably why, one of the reasons I'm still involved, is he said, every child in this school district should have the opportunity to participate no matter who they are or their background, and it's up to us as educators, coaches, volunteers to help them succeed. And I think the key word here, every child in the school district. Thanks.
Thank you. Is the link working? I've got
Yes.
two messages back to back that said it wasn't, so I don't know. Maybe just worth checking real quick. I don't want to make sure we're complying. Let him check real quick. I bet it is. If Anderson's on top of it, it may, sometimes I think getting started with people on their link. Mr. Wilson? You're free to go.
Well, I'm back again to cause trouble. But my main goal here is not to cause trouble. My main goal is not to come and complain about certain things. My main goal here is to encourage others to step forward and speak what's on their mind, that they have a concern for their community, for their school system, and that others would speak up, they would come. You know, if I can do it, others can do it. And so, that being said, I do have an issue, and I'm going to speak it, and I'll try to be an example for others, and maybe they will come as well. We are a community, and we're not driven by a few individuals. We're governed by a whole. And so, my question, no questions, I understand those, so let's make it a statement. Why does everyone get a trophy? That's an issue that bothers me. It bothers a lot of folks. And I'm going to relay this to the ranking of the class, that the high-ranking student. There's no valedictorians, there's no salutatorians. And from my understanding of reading the student handbook, the way it states that there could be a 10% difference between the top student and others, and they could all be ranked as well. And I've noticed that across the country, other folks, districts, schools, they've gotten rid of salutatorians, valedictorians. And they claim it causes unhealthy, unhealthy competition. That's what's claimed through that. So, and my problem with that is if we teach a child, do your best, you will always come through, you will always win, you will always succeed. But now you lay these other students in the same group where they didn't do as well. And you tell them, well, you're just as good, you did just as well. You know, as a society, we're afraid to tell students, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, you didn't succeed, you didn't win. You know, everybody's a winner, everybody gets a trophy. That's not how life goes. And I think we all know that as adults. That, you know, if you only make 90% of your house payment, you don't stay there. You know, you have to pull through. You know, is that what kids are being taught today? You know, and as a member of this district and this community, I don't want to see that come up to the next generation where everybody's equal. Are we striving to be average? Is that what we're doing? We want everybody to be the same, be average. Don't excel, don't succeed. I mean, is that what we come to as a society? I know everywhere we look, we hear politically correct. But all we've done is taken the morally right and made it politically incorrect. And as a member of society, I disagree with that. And I hope other folks will step up and speak an opinion as well, and maybe put their foot down and do something about it. And so I'm here to voice my opinion, and hopefully others will come as well. And good chance I'll be back next month as well.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you.
And reports from the principal. Mr. Bullard?
We had a very nice thing happen the other day in Miss Walter's room. Our Best gives out monetary rewards for classroom for teachers, and Erica Walters won $500 or received $500 from Our Best for her classroom. So they do that. I forget how many thousands of dollars they spend on teachers like that, but you can be nominated by anyone, and Erica is very, very well deserving of that. Also, we have a group, our little leaders at the primary school are some of our second graders, and Officer Mahan and our counselor, Mrs. Blanton, work with those students. And we had Master Sergeant Gillingham and Master Sergeant Charles from the 188th came in and talked to our group about the flag, the importance of the flag, and the etiquette of taking it up and down. And so now our little leaders are going to be doing that for us. They'll be putting our flag up and taking it down out there. So we'll teach us some responsibility for them and putting them in a leadership role. Also, Red Ribbon Week, we celebrated that. Every day was something special, so if you happen to be out of the primary school, you saw a lot of different things. Career Day was on Monday. Bright Future was Tuesday, which they wore neon. My friends and I choose to be drug-free, so we had matching day, so we had a lot of them dressed the same. Of course, Thursday was Halloween. Everyone wore their costumes. And Friday was green and gold. So we had a lot of fun with that, and just trying to drive home, you know, stay drug-free. We're trying to start that at an early age, keep them going. Parent-teacher conferences, 96% attendance in kindergarten, 94% in first grade, 93% in second grade. Our total was 95%. And I always brag to my teachers that, you know, if we were a business and 95% of your customers came through the door, and you know, if I were as the manager, didn't have to deal with any problems, you're doing a good job. And parent-teacher, I don't dread parent-teacher conferences. You know, everybody comes in, we have good meetings and don't have problems, and just really appreciate the staff for the good work that they do on that. So I want to put a plug in for them. And then also rounded out with Chester Drawers came in to the primary school. He does a positive attitude and another drug-free, alcohol-free lesson on that. So good month at primary school.
There you are, Mr. Warnock.
Well, we've had a great month. We focused on kindness all through October. Students collected or recorded acts of kindness on slips of paper. They made chains out of them. Our counselor, Ms. Wagner, is still displaying more chains in the cafeteria. She's wrapped the cafeteria twice, and there's a big pile of chains still to go, but the kids got pretty excited about it. The kindness challenge, the class with the most chain links, they won the privilege of going somewhere to express more kindness. So, and they were excited about that. So they're going to be bused tomorrow to the Alma Health and Rehab, and they've got cards that they've prepared for the residents, and they're looking forward to visiting with the residents. And then we'll have to stop and get some lunch before we get back to the school, so that'll be a fun time too. Veterans concert with honor choir, 4th and 5th grade honor choir, was last week, and it was tremendous. I'm constantly amazed at how much better they are than previous years, and it keeps startling me because I think they're as good as they can get, but they're just a lot of fun to listen to. And this is, I told Miss Walden I wished it could have gone a little longer because I was enjoying it so much. October 31st was Halloween, and 5th grade approached me way back and said, we'd like to do a career day on Halloween. We know it's kind of odd, but we'd like to do that, and I thought, well, that's probably a good idea. Kids are a little bit wound up, and Halloween, and the 5th grade just responded beautifully. They loved that career day, and it was a great time. We had some really good volunteers come in to share about their careers on Halloween. Wind time continues to go really good. What I need, and the teachers are basing that on data. We had a couple of paras absent, so I filled in on wind time with some fluency groups and found myself really enjoying that. I may have to tag my own wind time next time around because that was a lot of fun. Just a few of the things that have kind of kicked off recently. Quiz Bowl is up and going strong. STEM is really going strong. That's that science, technology, engineering, math team. A lot of fun to watch those kids. Robotics has kicked up. I was watching them today after school, and we've got a chess team that's going to be competing at the co-op early December. If you know Anna Bradley, very reserved lady, but boy, she gets competitive about chess, so we're looking forward to that. And Coach has started up our archery team in 5th grade, and that's a lot of fun to watch as well. We had Mayor Jerry Martin recently. He presented to 2 4th grade classes on the branches of government. Very interesting, kind of relating to branches at different stages, local, state, federal. Very interesting. And at the end, I pointed out to the kids, mayors, city councils, citizens make a real impact on the attractiveness of the community, because one of the things that Alma has done is just, they were unaware of this, the water has just improved tremendously since 2001 when we moved here. And when people are thinking about moving to a community and they realize, oh, they won taste tests 2 years in a row at state level with Alma water, you know, and people don't realize that. So I reminded, and Mayor Martin even said, oh, I forgot to mention that. And just the environment of our community is really attractive to people. I meet people all the time out there on the Lake Alma Trail, and they just go on and on about the beauty in our area. So we're very, very fortunate, and I think it's good for Mayor Martin to come point that out to the kids.
Mr. Wolf?
Been a busy month at the middle school. I got a long list, but I'm going to cut it down for you and highlight 3 really big activities we've had going on this last month. Back October 21st, that was actually our fall break day, and we had 2 current teachers and 1 former teacher who put a proposal in and were accepted to speak at the Arkansas Association of Mid-Level Educators Conference in Hot Springs. So they took their day off and went down to Hot Springs and presented about their PLC process and how their group, this was our math teachers, Ms. Boster, Ms. Braswell, and our former teacher, Ms. Sturman, who's now a math specialist up at the Northwest Arkansas Co-op, presented there. And that was really an honor for our school to be recognized and let them show some of the work they've been doing there at that conference. And along that same line, I've talked with you over the last few years. Mr. Bullard and I finished up with the master principal process through the Arkansas Leadership Academy. This year I applied for and we were accepted to take a team through the Arkansas Leadership Academy and their Team Institute. And we had our first session last week of October. It was 4 days. There was 4 teachers, myself, Ms. Lockbridge. We had to have a central office person join us. And we spent 4 very long days, 8 in the morning, and we finished up 8 that night. really start from scratch, where are we at, how are we gonna grow, and what we need to do, and they have brought that back to our building, and we are expanding it, and I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be a 3-year process for us. We've been doing some good things, and we've been growing, and that's what we wanna do, is keep that process going, so we're using this to continue our growth. And then, last Thursday was our annual Veterans Day program. I don't know if any of you got a chance to make it, but it's kind of like Mr. Warnock said, you think we got middle school kids and they can't do any better than last year, and they just blew it out of the water this year. We had, of course, our 8th grade band performing, 7th and 8th grade girls choir, 7th through 12th boys choir, and then of course it's put on by our student council. And this year our student council includes some 6th grade kids in it, and they all did a fantastic job. And that really, the organization and all that pulling off so well goes back to those sponsors who put all that together. I'll give a shout out to Sarah Martin, Amanda Taylor, and Aaron Young, those sponsors who helped put that on and make it such a great event. I had a gentleman stop me at parent pickup today and thank me and say how much he enjoyed it.
Mr. Kirkendall?
Like they've already said, our parent-teacher conferences that we had a few weeks ago, we at the high school did our student success plans, and we had 98% of our parents in attendance for that day and a half. On November 2nd, we had a robotics competition in our arena. So we had over a dozen schools come and compete, and it was an all-day event. Very successful. Gina Parks and robotics kids did a great job hosting that. Our dance team won second at state, so they're going to be going to Orlando, Florida for nationals here in January. You probably saw some of that on social media today when they told the kids they were really excited for that. Our band, we got our 4th in the state marching band competition. Internal TC's been really busy. They have been to several drill meets. They most recently went to Willard, Missouri last week, got second place overall, first in the unarmed exhibition, which I think every competition they've been in this year, they've got first in unarmed exhibition. They're going to Pottsboro, Texas this week, and then next week they're going to Branson for drill meets. In fact, they were at Fort Chaffee today in the village. There's a village in the middle of Fort Chaffee, and they did some urban warfare training with Army out there, so they had a great day at Fort Chaffee, so they've been really busy. DECA officers and Mr. Reeves and Ms. Seiler are in Washington, D.C. right now. They spent all day on Capitol Hill visiting with our congressmen and senators about DECA in Arkansas and also about Alma High School. Next weekend, Model UN is going to UCA for a competition, and you probably might be familiar with Model UN. It's our 2nd year doing this. Basically, it's a student government organization that is going and they actually basically role play that they're a United Nations country, and they debate one another. The kids that are doing it are loving it. And hopefully, after this competition at UCA, maybe in the next couple months, we'll have some of those UN kids come in and present for you.
Financial report? Consent agenda?
Yeah, I have no comment.
Have y'all had a chance to look at the financial report? Is there any motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor with the right hand vote? Any opposed? Superintendent's report?
I'm sure everybody is well aware that Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today. We will be closed that week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is what we've been doing for the last several years, and is what a lot of schools do for the schedule. Also, a reminder of the ASBA State Conference, December 11th through 13th. If you look at item C in your agenda, is the schedule, and Sean, the delegate assembly is on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We'll get you some more information about everything. Be sure we're all together on that sometime before the meeting. Last month, there was some conversation about classroom door security, and you asked for some information on that. If you look at item D is just a couple of flyers from a couple of different companies that market such devices. The second one really is more intended for home use than it is commercial use, but we put that in there. We have talked with some schools that have done this. I still would like to talk with some more. We haven't found very many that have done it. There's mixed feelings about it. We want to talk to some more schools, find some more schools that have done it, and find out what their experiences have been before we make any decisions as to whether or not that's something we want to pursue. Need to talk just a little bit about where we are on the high school flood from last summer. We are 99.9% recovered, back in business. We got back in the arena 3 weeks ago, something like that. We played our last couple of volleyball games in there. No problems with any of the work. Everything is good. Since the building was so disrupted and so taken apart, if you will, putting it back together, we decided to take this opportunity to make a couple of changes in how we use the building. We did not have a volleyball dressing room, and so we were creating one, and this is not done yet. This will be done in the next few months. We actually took what had been the weight room and are making it volleyball dressing room. We're moving the weight room next door to what had been, when we moved into the building, used as indoor batting cages. We did that simply because that space wasn't being used for anything else, and we could do that. We certainly need batting cages, so as part of all this, we've got batting cages outside by the baseball fields, but we're upgrading them, improving them, making them more usable. And none of that started yet, but we'll be working on that in this winter to get all that. And that's probably, I guess you could say, that's the last portion of us getting the arena back fully functional. Another thing has occurred, which was, I guess you'd say, unanticipated. Now let me very clearly say, as I've told you before, our insurance company could not have been better to work with. They were very, very cordial, very friendly, did not dispute the things that we were saying needed to be repaired or replaced, and were very prompt in their payments to us. $917,773.85 is the end number. We have received all that. We've received every dime of that deposited in our bank account, and we've paid all the bills. That part is all done. We're not at any financial risk at anything. But I got a call from the insurance company recently, our insurance company, saying that, of course, the way, I don't know everything there is to know about how insurance companies work, don't pretend to, but our insurance company paid us, took care of processing the claim, reimbursed us for the bills we had. And then they turn around and get their money back from the insurance company that insured the company that created the problem. Well, that company is declining to pay. They are claiming that their client didn't do anything wrong. Now, I don't know how they can, with a straight face, say that, but they are. So there's liable to be litigation. Now, it does not involve us because we've got our money, and that's not at risk. But litigation between the two insurance companies. The way that may affect us is, since our insurance company did represent us, our name's going to be on it. And since the city of Alma employed the contractor that did the work, the city's name's going to be on it as defendant. So if it does in fact happen, it's going to look like, if you're just glancing at it, it's going to look like Alma School District suing the city of Alma. Now, that's not what's happening at all, but it's going to, to some people, it's going to look that way. I've talked with Mayor Martin about it. He understands the situation. The person at my insurance company said that cases like this rarely go to trial, that it'll get settled somewhere along the line. This company is just trying to not spend any money if they can avoid it. But again, our company says, it's open and shut. They were surprised that the other company is balking at all. But as he said, you know, when you've got almost $1 million in play, people are gonna try things that maybe they shouldn't. Again, and let me repeat one more time, nothing about Alma School District is at risk here. It is simply a case between the two insurance companies. It's just that our name is associated with it, and the city's name is associated with it, because the two insurance companies represent us. So, I'll keep you posted on how that happens. He said, you know, it might start quickly and be over quickly. It might start quickly and last for months or years. They don't know at this point. They're hoping that just simply filing the litigation will cause the other company to say, yeah, okay, I guess we need to pay up. That's the hope, but we'll see. It's kind of an unusual situation. Yeah, you two attorneys. Thanks. But again, you know, they assured me over and over and over, we don't have anything to be concerned about. It's not going to affect us in any negative way at all. December board meeting, which is, of course, the second Thursday of December, is the 12th. That's right in the middle of the state meeting. So it's a little difficult to be two places at once. My suggestion would be to move our board meeting to either the Tuesday before or the Tuesday after.
Let's start down at the end and see if we can work our way around, if we can.
I'm
do
fine with either.
work.
When do you get out for Christmas?
The 20th.
Okay, so you'd be here that next week.
Tuesday before is okay, when you talk about the 3rd of December.
The 10th.
Oh, Tuesday before, yeah. I mean, I have a conflict on that.
What about the 12/7, 12/17?
Yeah, I have a conflict with that. I mean, you're not gonna find the time unless you go to the first week.
What about Wednesdays?
I'm available most Wednesdays.
Is Wednesdays I mean, if we did it early enough, at 5 to get people, you know,
Whatever the board desires. Wednesday's certainly okay with me,
and we can't start a meeting before 5.
before 5 o'clock. No.
I can do anything.
You
in
talking about
December.
Wednesday the 18th?
We couldn't do the 18th. No, we could do the 18th, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Because the 11th will be the
Right.
meeting.
right.
What about the 5th, the Thursday before?
So, if you wanna go to that week, I could do the Tuesday if you went to that week, but, you know, I mean,
Which
I wanna have
way?
it on
At
the
the
3rd.
3rd?
That'd be the 3rd.
Well, that, I know that probably in that meeting, we're gonna have some discussions over the, you know, potentially football coaching and things like that. Does earlier make that worse or better?
Quite honestly, yes.
I can do whatever,
I can't.
for pretty much any time in December.
Wednesdays are not very good for me though. But I can do Tuesday and Thursday anytime.
I have a conflict on the 10th.
After the 3rd, besides any Wednesdays, is any I mean, not that we wanna do a Friday.
No, I'm free on Fridays.
Can you do Mondays like the 9th?
Monday the 9th?
I can't, I mean, if
Oh.
you, well,
I think we can all do,
I can't, I mean, I have a city council meeting that I attend on Monday nights, but,
So what about December 6th or December 20th? Those are Fridays. I hate to do it on a Friday. I know that's not great for anybody.
oh, I'm free on both of those, so.
6th would be better, I
Sixth.
think, for everybody. Getting
Everybody's
running.
on 6th then. That's all right.
What'd you say?
I think the 6th would be
6 would
better.
work better.
Works for me.
So it sounds like our options where everybody's free is I have December 3rd and December 6th. Let's see if we can get preference. Does anybody have a preference?
Well, I prefer the 3rd, but I think also that's early in the month.
So I'm gonna put.
We'll just have to deal with that. You know, we might end.
May have may have to have a special
Yeah.
meeting that month anyways.
Yeah, that's possible. It just depends on some things that are not in our control.
Right. The 3rd or the 6th.
And given a Tuesday or a Friday, I'd take a Tuesday.
Tuesday's good.
So,
Can you just change the official location and do the board meeting in Little Rock on the 12th?
I know, I kind of might hurt public comment. So let's see.
Scott, can you make Little Rock?
But I would say there is a probably good chance we may have to have a special board meeting later in the month, so we just all need to, I know it's busy for everybody. So do I have a motion to move the December board meeting to December 3rd at 6 p.m. here?
So moved.
Second thought.
All in favor of December 3rd with a right-hand vote? Any opposed? That carries.
I put in the packet, item E is our football playoff bracket. Likely you've already seen it in the paper or online. We play at Forest City tomorrow night. If we win that game, it depends on what happens in the game we're paired with. If we win and Lakeside wins, then we go to Lakeside a week from tomorrow. If we win and Whitehall wins, then the game is here 8 days from now. So just keep this where you can refer to it, and we'll see what happens. I want to just have some conversation. Certainly not asking you to consider making any kind of decision about this tonight. About solar energy. The Arkansas legislature changed some laws last winter that make solar energy business more attractive for companies to do business with, schools, cities, that sort of thing. We've been approached this fall by actually 3 different companies to consider doing something with them. The same companies have approached the city of Alma also. Actually, Mayor Martin and I are meeting on Monday, this coming Monday, with one of the companies just to continue the conversation, to get more information. The way this works is a company would build a solar farm. You've seen what those look like, seen pictures of them. If we were to do this, if we were to go forward with this, a good place for us to put it would be on our land at the far southwest corner of the high school property. South and west of the Little League baseball complex. You know, we own quite a bit of land down there that we don't use for anything except mow the hay off of it. There'd be plenty of land from what we're being told to do the solar array. The output of that solar array then is just tied into the local utility, in our case OG&E, and of course it's metered as it goes into the system. However much electricity in a month that solar array puts into the OG&E system, OG&E does not bill us for. It's just subtracted off of our bill at the end of the month. And then this company bills us for electricity at about half the price of what OG&E would be billing for the same amount of electricity. It costs us nothing to do this. The equipment is installed by the company, owned by the company, maintained by the company. There's really, we have no investment in it at all. One illustration that one of the companies has showed us earlier this week would have us, over the life of the contract with them of 25 years, would save us about $1 million in electrical costs. Well, that's certainly, obviously, something for us to consider and look at. There's still a lot of questions, a lot of things we hadn't had a chance to talk with them about yet, and that's why Mayor Martin and I are meeting with one of the companies on Monday. One of the questions I did ask, how long does it, if we were to decide to do this and start it, how long is it before it's installed and ready to go? And they said several months, maybe even up to a year before all their work is done and it's generating. The reason for partnering with somebody like the city is up to a point. The bigger the installation, the more efficient it is, and the more savings there are. Now, of course, most of Alma School District is on OG&E. The intermediate school is on Arkansas Valley. I did not know this until talking with Jerry Martin. The city's in the same situation. most of the city is on OG&E, but the sewer treatment plant is on Arkansas Valley. So one of the things that he and I discussed that we want to talk with the company about is us going together for an OG&E project, maybe on school district property, and us going together for a Arkansas Valley project on city property down at the sewer treatment plant. City's got plenty of land down there to do it, just like we do by the baseball fields. It doesn't matter where the solar plant attaches to the utility. Case in point, one of the companies, in fact the one we're meeting with on Monday, is doing this very same thing for the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, except on an obviously far larger scale. Well, their solar farm is going to be at Waldron. The university electric utility is Southwest Electric Power Company, SWEPCO, and SWEPCO serves the Waldron area. The university has some land they're not using in Waldron, so that's where they're going to put the solar farm. Doesn't matter where it is, just so you can get to the utility in question. I just use the university as an example of how it really doesn't matter where it goes. It doesn't have to be near us. One of the men was saying that they've done some school districts across the state that it's not anywhere near the school, and it doesn't matter to anybody. So this is something that certainly looks like it may have some potential for us. More information to come.
Do they do any kind of guarantee on the, I mean, they can throw $1 million out there.
Yeah, and that's just-
Is there a guarantee?
Yes, and I don't know what that is,
Sure.
but yes.
But they do a guarantee on it.
The guarantee, of course, is not as high as
Sure.
that's what they project.
But a guarantee?
Yeah.
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 And then when it's used up, they come pick it up, haul it off?
Yeah, and one of the other things, I'm glad you said that, it reminded me, we would have the option after 6 years to buy the equipment and then enter into a contract with them to maintain it. They say that there's a financial advantage to us for doing that. Don't know the details of that yet, but that's just one of the things.
I've never seen I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
More details.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in favor of that.
Yeah.
They deteriorate efficiency-wise over time.
Yeah.
That's the thing we talked about. I said, of course, this doesn't include any battery storage, so there's no electricity coming out of this system at night, because the sun doesn't shine very well at night. But as he said, who's going to say that 10 years from now we don't have really good batteries for something like this? At the rate battery development has been, particularly like with battery-powered automobiles, as an example.
What if you needed the land in the future for school use?
Well, and that's certainly something to think about very carefully. Where that land is, I can't in my wildest dreams imagine anything we might ever want to do with it because of where it is and what it is. It's low, it's in the floodplain, they don't care about that. We obviously would to put a building on it.
Right.
I know there's been some discussions of an ag building, some other, things. Would this be in the same location? Or?
In the same general location, but there's plenty of land there.
Okay.
Yeah, in that same area, but we've got in excess of 30 acres there, and the solar farm would only take about 10.
Does that flood down there?
It does, but they don't care. They say that doesn't bother them.
The literature they send me, they don't want it in a floodplain, so you need to
Really?
confirm that with them.
Okay.
Because I get a flyer every so often about wanting to build a solar farm.
Well, I think what they were telling us is they'll just elevate it so that it's up high enough that the water won't get to it. It's up out of the floodplain by just putting it up on legs.
Keep us posted.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
will. And it may be something that doesn't develop. Certainly may be, and it may be some time before it does. But I thought it was worth mentioning because we are starting to talk about it.
Is there access, like gravel road access to that land now?
Yeah, it's right off of West Main Street. You go down the hill.
It's got paved frontage.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess they'd have some sort of a insurance policy or a bond or something? They go
You're
belly
getting,
up
I'm
in
sure
10
so, but
years?
that's the details we hadn't gotten to yet.
Okay.
Right, next, I think we have a request for executive session, and that's gonna be on a personnel issue, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if, Ms. Ruth taking the minutes, it's gonna be 6:43, and what this will do, I think we're gonna go into,
My office.
we're going into a different room, so y'all can stay in here, and we will come back in here. The only other thing on the agenda is to adjourn, so you could leave, I don't know if there will be any discussion after that, but we will be back after our executive session.
I guess that's when I graduated.
Yep.
I just, Officer Manning just,
Hey, thanks for having Officer Manning here.
We're gonna do that, we're gonna do that.
It's good.
Between the four of them, it's not on them.
I think they're right in the hallway.
We got to talk.
We got a date.
It's kind of what I do for a living. I'm
Back.
in the house, so I mean,
We're back in.
Motion
Let's,
we adjourn?
yeah, let me get the
Second.
time. Miss, oh, she not here.
I got it.
7:45.
I got it.
All right.
Motion adjourned?
Second.
Second.
All in favor with the right hand vote?
Got it.
Are you getting?
I
just wanted to make sure it was in
On Wednesday.
Didn't want to miss that.